We are so glad that you are here today. We are going to celebrate the graduation of 2024 from Allgood Christian Elementary School, and you are in for a treat. These students have been performing and practicing the last few weeks, and we're just so thrilled that they get to show off their talents. Plus, we get to, a little bit later, have awards night where we will also give out awards to all the students. So I am so glad you're here. Welcome and enjoy the program.
Will you please bow your heads for opening prayer? Dear Heavenly Father, I just want to praise you that we're able to come here tonight and meet together for this wonderful celebration. I pray for each person that's here tonight. I pray that you send a special blessing on them and just surround them. I also pray, Lord, for the graduates and every one of the students here tonight, as you've given them gifts and talents, and hopefully, and I pray, Lord, that they always use them for you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hello. Oh, sorry. Good evening. My name is Mr. Camden Rodriguez. I'm the music teacher at All Good Christian Elementary. Tonight for graduation, we brought our 5th through 8th grade advanced chimes choir. And this song we've been working on for graduation, we've only been working on for about 2 weeks at most. We just had our spring performance, and for graduation, Andrew and Evan wanted to do this song, so we're going to play Joshua Fit the Battle of Jericho for y'all.
Tonight we celebrate two special young men who have been a part of ACE and for the last couple of years. And I'm going to read to you some bios about the boys. This is written by their mother, Katrina Labar. Andrew Michael was born on January 24, 2009, with bright red spiky hair that all the nurses raved about from the moment it appeared. The eldest of 6, with 5 younger siblings plus 2 step-siblings, he has a total of 7 younger siblings to look up to him. His name, Andrew, means strong and manly. And Michael, after his great uncle Mike, means who is like God. Andrew has always had a more reserved, thoughtful personality, but he is also extremely generous, helpful, and eager to please those he loves, with a unique and endearing sense of humor and wordplay. Andrew has been an excellent older sibling from the time he was about 14 and a half months old. When he was much older, possibly 7 or 8, and on a family picnic, Andrew walked up to his mom and asked, "May I have a peach?" And to this day, his mom can't eat peaches without hearing him asking her in that sing-song, so perky and sweet voice. While Andrew does have an engineer's mind and is very mechanically oriented, he is also very caring. He's nurturing as well and has been looking forward to teaching his 5-year-old brother everything from climbing trees to coding in Minecraft and other video games. Some qualities his mom admires in Andrew are his independent nature, honesty, loyalty, and his wonderfully unique personality. Andrew, this is from your mom. She says, "I am so proud of all you have worked so hard to accomplish to get to this evening, and am watching the live stream with Emerus, Kaya, Adrian, and Grandma Linda." Next is Evan. Evan Micah was born on April 13, 2010, weighing 11 pounds, 4 ounces. No, that's not a typo, she says. And he was the most snuggly baby you've ever seen. His name, Evan, means God is gracious, and Micah also means who is like God. Evan has always seemed the overachiever. Beginning life at the size of a 3-month-old, cutting his first tooth at 4 months, walking at 9 months, and reading at a college level by 5th grade. He always loved exploring, asking questions, and making things with his hands. His fun-loving, mischievous personality lights up the room, along with the thoughtful compliments and supportive comments he tends to be quite liberal with. Evan is also an excellent older sibling, and when with his mom, his youngest brother, Emerus, is never very far from him, whether wrapped around his leg while he's walking, riding on shoulders, cuddling up next to him, watching him play a game, or perched on the back of his legs while he's lying on his stomach reading. His biggest fan is always there to soak up the big brother time. Ever since he was tiny, Evan has a tendency of playing peekaboo with young siblings. One of his mom's favorite and most recent memory with him is during a game of hide and seek in the dark last year. His mom was it, and while walking through the master bedroom, which belongs to Andrew and Evan, his mom got a funny feeling like she was being watched. She looked up suddenly, and there was Evan, frozen still as a statue, standing perched on top of the cat tree, which is higher than his mom's head. Evan, these are some of your mom's favorite qualities about you. Your inquisitiveness, your independent thinking, strong personality, and your vision. She says, Evan, I am also very proud of you. You are a wonderful person, and I'm excited to see all the amazing possibilities in store for your life. We're now going to let our graduates talk about some people that they feel like they would like to appreciate.
As I have grown, I have progressively noticed how many people have influenced me and how different I would have been if I had never met anyone. I would like to thank these people, such as my parents, for teaching me and helping me understand so many things. My dad has been helping by answering most of the infinite amount of questions that I ask him, and my mom has been caring and a person that I can trust. My stepmom, Jess, is encouraging and helpful, and my stepdad, Adrian, is understanding. My grandparents have helped me by letting us stay on their property for a while, and also allowing us to climb trees. My other grandparents, on my mom's side, have inspired me. Uncle Johnny has helped to teach me more about engines, and Aunt Brenda has also helped a lot, and Aunt Catherine and Uncle Dwayne have taught me multiple things. My teacher has helped by telling me what I'm supposed to do for certain math problems, and taught me a lot about that subject. Although I'd also like to thank my pets for constantly being there for me and helping me. And although there are many more people who helped, I am sorry that I don't have the time to thank each one of them individually, but thank you for all that you have done.
One second. I don't know anything about the cricket. I have reached a point in my life where people, namely my teachers, tell me to write, I have reached a point in my life. Many of you have also reached this monumental milestone. I say many and not all because I see Andrew, who is also graduating and technically has not yet graduated. To continue, I wanted to say thank you to some of the people who made it possible for me to keep going, even when I face the evils of the math magician, who apparently hates me and often thwarts my efforts to learn math happily. First, I'd like to thank my father, who was always there for me, even after I did something I shouldn't, or really shouldn't, like accidentally shooting a slingshot at the house, almost hitting a cat with arrows, or once, may I strongly stress, once, bringing a snake inside the house. He always had a comforting word for me, and no matter what I faced, he could help me with it. He also lets me run outside with hatchets and machetes, and, a quote from Miss Jansen, make all those cool things. He and Jess both helped me with my math. Well, speaking of Jess, I'd like to thank her for always cooking dinner, for helping me organize my stuff, and for running the house effectively. I don't think we could really survive that well if it wasn't for Jess. Also, I'd like to thank my Uncle Johnny, Aunt Rochelle, Uncle Dwayne, and Aunt Catherine for being so kind to me all the time. A bonus thank you to Uncle Johnny for promising to buy us a flamethrower had we all gotten straight A's, which none of us did. Oh well. Next, I'd like to thank all my teachers who taught me math, although I might have said once or twice that I hate math. Once or twice. Once or twice? Also, I want to say thank you to Grandma and Grandpa for letting us run around their property, giving us jobs to earn money, and sticking up for us. Also for letting us drive a go-kart unattended. I only flipped it twice, and especially for letting me read all of your books. Next, I'd like to thank Mom. She's been kind, helpful, and loving to me almost all the time, except when I really, really deserve it. I'm not going to mention anything. For good reason. She plays Minecraft with me, laughs at my silly jokes, and is amazed when I show her new creations. She tells me funny things that happen to her and loves me a lot. Thank you. Also, last but definitely not least, I'd like to thank Adrian, my stepdad. He's amazing. He's really funny, really nice, and super kind. I'm glad he's in my life. Once again, to all these people for helping me in my life, for being there, and for promising flamethrowers for good behavior, I'd like to say thank you. For helping me in the good times and the bad, for sharing my sorrows, and for giving me candy. Ms. Jansen, our principal, told me that I should write, I have reached a point in my life. However, I'd like to say others have gotten me to a point in my life. Thank you all.
I'm up here.
We can sneak past.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for coming to celebrate our boys who have grown so much in the last couple of years. I've been around for about the last 5 years, and I can tell you that these two have matured into fine young men. They are kind, they are loving, and they are very, very helpful. Tonight's speaker is my husband and the father of these two graduates, Brian Paris. He is a wonderful father to our 6 children. He builds forts with them, plays games with them. He used to wrestle with them, but they're getting much stronger day by day, and there's 6 of them and 1 of him. He takes them swimming and for ice cream, but I think one of my children's favorite things that they beg Brian to do is tell mouse stories. What is a mouse story, you ask? Well, my husband has a brilliant imaginative mind and just makes up these stories just on the fly about mice who go on all kinds of adventures, and my children just eat them up. Tonight, you are in for a treat as you get to sit on one of these most wonderful stories. I have just one question for our graduates. Is what looks like a good choice the right choice for you?
Depends on what you mean. Is it eat all the ice cream?
That would definitely be an interesting choice. Andrew, Evan, congratulations, first of all. A little early, we're still not done with the program yet, but congratulations on your hard work in making it through this year. I know it's been quite the ups and downs sometimes, and sitting down at the table doing math homework late, but we got through it. Namely, you got through it. I'm glad I got to learn or relearn a little bit of 8th grade math as well along the way. We are going to be hearing a mouse story, and I'm speaking more to you two boys than I am to anyone else out there, so I apologize in advance to y'all, but these are my 2 boys sitting up here. So we're gonna start off with that mouse story. See, there was a mouse, and this mouse lived in the forest, and he was a fairly young mouse at the start of our story. He's not by the end of it, but he was having a fun time in the forest, and he didn't have a whole lot of natural predators out there, a whole lot of enemies. And there was an occasional coyote, maybe a bobcat, sometimes, very rarely, an owl that flew by. But he had a pretty comfortable life. He made even multiple dens, multiple houses, filled them all with food, and got to the point that he was actually kind of bored. And he was spending his time kind of exploring these woods and this forest that he lived in, and wandering further and further away and building more houses further away. But there was a big change coming. You see, the people who owned these forests had decided to finally build a house on it. And so they started construction on that house. And that house was built on a hill. And see, because it was built on a hill, it allowed something very, very special. It allowed both the upper and the lower floors to walk out onto the ground. And so the mouse had a lot of fun. He climbed up and down. He ran across the wood beams and the concrete floor at the bottom, and up and down and over. And he treated it like his playground, basically, is what he did. And he had a lot of fun. And he had fun exploring it as it was being built, the walls being put up, the stairs going up, and people visiting and going. And there was one person, I think they called him the general contractor, who basically lived out there, but the mouse learned how to avoid him and how to run up and down the construction site and have all sorts of fun. And it took a little bit, but the house was finally built. And then people started moving into the house. Now, see, this is when the mouse made a decision. He decided that he had had so much fun playing in the house while it was being built that he wanted to see what the house looked like with everybody moved into it. And he thought it was a perfectly fine idea, and he would have fun, and nobody would notice. So he kind of sat and he waited near the downstairs door, and he waited, and somebody left that door open. Still don't know who, but somebody left that door open, and in came the mouse. And the mouse was having a fun time kind of exploring the downstairs. He hadn't even made it upstairs yet. He was just kind of in the main area of the downstairs when he was discovered. He was discovered, and there was quite a shout, because there was a certain boy who discovered him who said, "Mouse." And his grandmother and his father said, "Where?" and started looking for this mouse. And this poor mouse ran all over the place downstairs. All over. He was herded, he was chased, he was corralled. He had things poking at him. He had all sorts of exercise trying to run away, and not really a fun time, until he noticed that the door was still open. And so with the help of the young boy who first spotted him, he was unceremoniously ushered outside, where he ran to his den. And he kind of sat for a little bit, and he said to himself, "You know what? I'm just going to leave that house alone now. I think I've learned something." And we can learn something from that mouse too. And that mouse, we're going to come back to him in a little bit, because we actually know him not as forest mouse, but we know him as blue car mouse. But we're gonna put a pause on that mouse story, because we can learn something from that mouse. And that something is sometimes life can be easy, really easy. You're just cruising through, you're doing your work, you're doing everything you can, everything you want, everything's right there for you. Sometimes life's hard. Sometimes you look at a decision or a choice and you pick it, and it turns out to be a mirage. It turns out to be something that's not really there and is not necessarily the best choice for you. Like a mirage in the desert, when you're looking for water, it's not actually there. It's going to lead to more heartache, and it's going to lead to more trouble. Sometimes we have to just kind of keep working through, even when life does get hard, and we have to make sure that we do make the right choices. And sometimes we can even deceive ourselves with our choices and our mirages by setting the goals for what we think we want, but aren't really all that good for us. If we do end up eating all the ice cream, we might get a stomachache later. If we eat up a lot of candy, it might not. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you still have a good life, even though you do chase after that mirage. Carmouse had that mirage about that inside of the house. He thought that if he could only just get inside and explore, he'd have a fun time and nobody would notice. But he was fooled by his mirages, and it did cause him a lot of trouble. If our goals are only for our short-term happiness and gain in this world, we will be giving ourselves a lot of trouble. James 1:22 says, "But be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves." What this means to me is that you have to have a faith that's built on action and not just sitting around thinking that everything's going to be all right because it's been all right. Sometimes the actions that you take for that faith aren't big, like choosing to come in to work every day, whether you feel like it or not, or even if you don't want to be around people at all, and going into work anyways. Sometimes it's a big decision, like choosing what to study in school, or what life goals you want, or even what animals you want to try to convince me to get as your pet, or bring into the house even. But if you view each choice as a way to put the faith in God to action, and you trust in Him, He will lead you through life, your good times and your bad times, because there will be both. And He'll give you the best reward, as told to us in James 1:12. "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love Him." So no matter where your choices take you from here, God is walking with you, and He is looking forward to giving you the best reward that can be offered to anyone, the crown of life. In closing, we do want to make sure that our choices don't lead to just another mirage or another false goal that'll give us trouble, like how Carmouse, or Blue Carmouse, really got his name. You see, I told you earlier that he decided to stay away from the house and the family, and he did. He stayed away from the house. He didn't go in the house again. But he got bored again, because with the people there, the coyotes and bobcats didn't come around at all. And while the owl was still there, it was there even more rarely. And so he kind of got exploring, and he noticed a small blue car that had been sitting in the driveway, and he tried to ignore it at first, and it was pretty successful for a little bit. But then it got to him. It was too much. He decided he was going to go explore it. He thought he could smell some food in it. So he kind of hung out, and he watched the car, and he looked at it, and he waited, and he talked to his squirrel friends about the car and how often it had been used. And he heard something really weird about the squirrels being called Romans, which we'll have to explain later on, I guess. That'll be another story. But he decided to try and get in that car. So he did. He crawled up into the engine bay, found a small hole in the firewall, and crawled into the passenger compartment of that car. And he started exploring. And he found a lot of really good things. He found some really fun, shiny things. He found some things that really smelled of food. But what held his interest most was two shiny things that smelled of food. It was kind of a combination. He thought he hit the jackpot with that. And so he decided he was going to try that first little package. It's kind of odd, shiny, silverish, little bit of writing on it. He can't read. So he bit into it. And he discovered it was nice. It was sweet. It was tasty. It tasted like fruit, but with lots and lots of sugar in it. And so what did he do? He continued to eat it. He opened up that package all the way. He licked it clean till there wasn't a speck of jam left inside that packet. And it was good. He really liked it. There wasn't any bit of that jam left anywhere. And then he turned to the other packet. The other packet smelled like food too. It was shiny. It had writing, just like the first one. So he took a big bite right out of the corner. The problem is, it wasn't jam like the first one. You see, the contents of that packet bit back, and not bit back with claws or teeth, but with fire. And Blue Car Mouse suddenly felt his mouth go burning, very, very, very hot. And he couldn't put it out, and there wasn't a fire in it, but it felt like there was one. And Blue Car Mouse left that tiny hot sauce packet, and it was discovered by the family that there was 2 packets on the floor of that car. One of them licked absolutely clean and opened up, and the other with the tiniest of mouse bites in it with some hot sauce dribbling outside of it. So, boys, as you continue here, let's make sure that our goals aren't just mirages, aren't just something for the short term, and that we're putting forth our best efforts to put actions behind our faith and not just words.
All right, here's the moment you two have been waiting for. So, I would like to introduce the graduating class of 2024 who have satisfactorily completed the requirements for graduation. Students, please stand and come forward when you hear your name. Andrew Michael Paris. You can't graduate until you come here a minute. All right. Evan Micah Paris. All right. Now that they have what they were waiting for, some of you are waiting for your awards. So at this time, I'm going to ask for Miss Lisa Richards to come on up. She teaches our grades 3 and 4 with reading and math. And then Miss April Copley teaches our grades K through 4. And then I teach grades 5 through 8. Also have Dr. Doug. If he'll come on up, he teaches our social studies, Dr. Doug Kane, for grades 5 through 8. And then if I can also have Mr. Camden come on up, he teaches our music. All right. Dr. Doug, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. When did I start? 2 years ago?
About that time.
Yeah.
We're going to get his John Hancock real quick. So this first award will be going, well, you tell them what class it is and everything, right? Yeah.
A couple of years ago, Dawn asked if I would teach a little bit of history because she knew I was interested in the history of World War I and World War II. And somehow, after doing that, I ended up teaching world history and American history for the entire year and this entire year. And I felt it to be a really wonderful opportunity. I went to public school, and there were probably 35 kids in the class. And I don't really remember any of the teachers really knowing anybody, hardly. And at ACE, I really feel I've got to know all of the kids and all the unique personalities. And to pick someone to give an award to is difficult because every one of you has strengths and different abilities, and a couple of you are mischievous like I was, actually not even near as bad as I was, but be it as it may. So I kind of thought through who might get this award, and I could pick almost all of you for each of your wonderful qualities, but I had to pick someone, and that's Aziza Colston.
Okay, so I had the privilege of teaching 3rd and 4th math and reading, so both of my awards will be from that classroom. And in our math class, I had several good mathematicians, but there was one that really stood out. She did many lessons on her own. She was very self-motivated. If there were ever corrections to do, I knew she was going to be on top of it because she was very, very good at what she was doing. And Miss Mary Jones has received the math award. I had several very good readers in my class too, but there was one part of reading that I had to go with. At the beginning of the year, there were a couple times where the kids got to write something and then they got to speak about it in our class. And one particular person was very, very energetic in his speaking, and he could make you want to listen to more, kind of like the mouse stories. You just wanted to hear more to the stories when he was up there. And so this one is for our Superb Speaker Award, and it goes to Caden.
All right, next one is, yes, go ahead, Mr. Camden, yep.
All right, so I gotta stand on my tippy toes to reach the mic. And a staccato note is a short note, and so as I make the joke that I'm the president of the staccato gang because most of the students are taller than me. All right. So as she said earlier, I'm the music teacher, and so we're giving out 3 different music awards, each one for the different age groups we have. So we have a beginner class, which is like the fundamentals of music, learning how, an intermediate, which is for our 3rd and 4th graders, and then our advanced is what just we showcased tonight. They play a lot more difficult stuff. So for our beginner music class, this student, he's worked very hard. He's like all watch, as I like to say all the time. And so this award goes to Bryson Bean. This next award is for our intermediate group. And this student, she's worked very hard. She's always excited to come. She's always just brings a lighter atmosphere and just has fun with it. And, she just has a positive attitude about everything. It's never like in a bad mood. And so this one goes to Brielle Eubanks. All right, one more tiptoe. And our last award, this student is from never done music before until this year, and he's pushed hard. He's been super great. He's been showing up to practices all the time, ready to go, ready to learn. This one goes to Tristan Eubanks.
Yeah, we'll do this back and forth. Sorry, you guys are like, I guess we're kind of crammed, aren't we? There we go.
Okay.
We'll let them shuffle. All right. This award is for writing skills. This student started out last year, was actually not in my class, I don't think, writing skills. And she has just blossomed. She took the test again this year and did very well. She loves to write multiple pages, and it is very interesting to see what she has to write. So this award goes to Addison Nolan.
All right, this the most creative artist, and this person in particular loves to draw. Actually, my whole class loves to draw, but this particular one does it all the time. Like every time I look up, she's going to get scratch paper to draw, and then even tonight back there, before we were getting ready to come out, she asked if she could draw. So she does an awesome job on that, and she is super creative, and that goes to Charlie.
This award goes to someone who has shown an amazing talent for being an athlete. And I can see why, because when his father came to our softball game, we all about ducked because we were wondering at what speed the ball was hit. But this student has gained the ability to do a lot of different sports. And yes, Carson, it is you. Good job.
All right, so this next is the Super Scientist Award for science, and this particular student has educated me in many ways, and I've had to look some things up, and so that award goes to Noah.
The grades 5 to 8 technology award, one-handed, and do it very fast with efficiency and speed. And she also finished the typing program. So this award goes to Mariah Libman.
All right, so this next award is my spelling champion, and this particular student, she does really well in her daily spelling, like whenever she's writing, and then also on her spelling test, she's usually 100%, and that goes to Lillian Preston.
This person's desk right now does not look like their desk would normally be. So right now the desk is totally clean, but this desk always has something on it. They're always crafting, making things, and even it's amazing what they'll come up with. They love art. They just really do very well at it, actually. And it's funny because this person is actually pointing at other people and it's actually him. There you go.
So this next award is called the Peacemaker Award, but why I chose this for this particular student is she gets along with most everyone in the class, and she's always trying to get them to do what they're supposed to be doing. But what also is super amazing about this girl is she does not like the limelight. She doesn't want to be any attention put on her, but she does get that attention because she is just great with being a leader, and that's Quinn.
The handwriting award for grades 5 to 8 goes to a lady who is able to write with beautiful penmanship. And in fact, she had her own book this year. No one else had the same book as she did. And her papers were very easy to read. Yes, Carrie, it is you.
So this next award is called the Homework Hero Award, and I almost made one for the parents too. But this particular student, I do not have to worry at the end of the day that he's going to pack his folder with his homework and get that red folder in his backpack and take it home and get it done. And that goes to Matthew.
The reading award goes to someone that really loves books. This person enjoys reading a book and excels at reading, and in fact, reading other things, maybe just kind of enjoying reading. But he knows pretty much when to read and when not to read. And I didn't have to collect 15 books out of his desk like his brother. He kept it. So, the reading award goes to Andrew Paris.
All right, so this next award is called the Faithful Friend, and this particular student is friends with everyone in the classroom. She is even friends when others don't even want maybe to be around, but she's faithful, she's a friend, she's kind, she always has a greeting for us in the morning, and that goes to Catherine.
The math award this year goes to a person who has shown a lot of math growth. And in fact, this person scored the very highest of MAP in a certain test that we have. It's called the MAPS test, and they scored very high. And so I thought that it would just be, it would go very well for this student to get the math award. And the math award this time goes to Evan Paris.
It's kind of ironic I get something in subject I like to lose.
This is you.
So, since Dr. Doug teaches social studies for grades 5 to 8, that frees me up to be able to go, and I get to teach grades 3 and 4 for social studies. So, this person that I am going to give this award to is one that I'll never forget when we were talking about different countries in the classroom, and this person said, "Oh, my family comes from almost all these different countries. And I was like, oh, okay. And he knew where they were, or where they were located. And he did also very well when he had to label all the states for the United States test. So this award goes to Malachi Libman. This next award is in science, and this person excels in science and does very well. They enjoy the labs that we do for the most part, and they do very well at making sure that the labs are finished and complete, and this person gives very good reasons for why they write what they write. And so I'm going to give this award to Emily Richards. Our last award is in Bible knowledge. This person, just even today, was able to just comfort people and telling them, you know what, you can do this. You know, you've got this. God is with you. And this person knows a lot about the Bible and just encourages others and does very well. And I want to give this award to Naomi Jones. So I left you guys up here, not that I really have anything to give you, but accept my appreciation. This group of people, and you guys can stand up again. This group of people help make ACE what it is. I can't do it alone, and these guys, even you, come on, are some awesome teachers, and I'm so glad and blessed that I get to teach with them and be with them. So I thank you. I know probably from the parents as well. Thank you for the time, the dedication that you guys have given to ACE. I appreciate it. Feel free to go. There are also other people who are very pivotal in how ACE runs. And we have volunteers, we have aides, and we have people who will do our hot lunches, everything. If you volunteer in any way for ACE, would you please stand? Don't be shy. I'll pick you out. I want to thank you guys. If you are a school board member, would you please stand? Thank you to you guys as well for your hard work of coming in once a month and making sure the school runs. And parents, you don't have to stand, but just want to make... Okay, the kids say you have to stand. You got to stand. So parents, go ahead and stand up. If you are a parent, we want to say thank you to you as well. Thank you for putting up with the potholes and with the different nuances of just every day coming to school. And we just really appreciate you guys and your support. I also want to say a thank you as well to our pastor, Pastor Dan, who comes in on our Fridays and does our chapel. And again, there's lots of people that I probably didn't mention or say, but I thank you for even just being here and supporting the students. It means a lot to us.
Thank you too, Ms. Chairman.
You're welcome. Okay, it is now a time for our rising 8th grader, Naomi Jones, to come up. She has a few words to say to Evan and Andrew as she has with the time that she has spent with them.
Hello, my name is Naomi Jones, and I am our resident 7th grader. I joined the school 2 years ago, same time as those two over there, and don't look offended, you already knew that was coming. And they've been good friends to me. Technically, we've been kind of lumped into the same class together, in a sense, and because there's only 3, but I'm gonna even tell what I picked up most from graduates. Starting with Evan, he's a pretty funny guy, and he's also very creative. I've seen him bring and build a bunch of U-Hauls, whatever they're called, to school, and just build them in general. He literally made a crossbow out of a pencil and rubber banding once. During class, I think. I don't know the intentions behind it, though. I don't want to. He's a very adventurous and bold guy, and also he's very helpful. I can say that in general because at Forest School, there's something called clans. If you don't know, ask the kids. I'm not explaining it right now up here. But he's been part of multiple clans, and tends to help out with a bunch of stuff. He's a candy lover, which is very obvious. Pretty much I'd say at least 1 out of 5 conversations he'll mention wanting candy or something related to candy. He's also a bookworm. Apparently she had to remove 15 books from his desk. I lost counting at 5. I didn't even try the first time. Throughout both school years, I was mostly taller than him, until these past 2 or 3 months, he apparently got a growth spurt and is now taller than me, unfortunately. Not by much. And one of the other things is he can strike up a very good conversation and is pretty talkative in general. Now for Andrew. He's the quieter of the two, definitely. He's the one who I feel like listens more. He's generally a nice guy to be around. Not I'm trying to take away anything from his brother. Evan's also a very nice guy to be around. Just if you need peace and quiet, and I'd prefer talking to Andrew if you want peace and quiet. I'm sorry, but that's true. Like his brother, he's also a bookworm. Just doesn't read in the middle of class, but I don't see him in a book as often as Evan. In general, he's just a great and interesting person to be around, and both these are very smart people, and when they want to try their hard, they can get stuff done very quickly. I've seen lots of pop up randomly when they put their minds to it, and they may say they hate math or they're bad at math or something, but they're actually pretty good at it. Evan literally got the math award. Obvious. And I thank them for being around and being my friends, and
I think the future is bright with our young lady there. So, will the graduating class of 2025 please stand? With prayers and warm wishes and encouragement for your success as the new student leader of ACE, I present to you All-Good Christian Elementary graduating class once more of 2025. Will everyone please stand with her? And we'll stand for the benediction.
Let's pray together. Dear Jesus, we're just so grateful for what you've done. We're so thankful for these young people, for this school, for these teachers, for everybody involved in making character shine for you. And Lord, as the summer comes on, we pray that your blessing, your protection, and your guidance be on each family, on each staff, until we be together again. In Jesus' name, amen.
After the processional, there will be some snacks in the gym, so you can stick around for that. You can stick around for pictures and our grades 5 to 8. Don't forget you're coming to help take down.